Welcome back to another edition of Special Situations Investing with Greg. This week I'm going to be giving an update on my holdings in Cerner, and we'll see where it goes from there. Check it out. Hey everyone, welcome back to another edition of my YouTube channel on Special Situations Investing and my personal investing practice. As a quick disclaimer, this video is for educational purposes only. Any companies that I mention in this presentation are discussed solely for illustrative purposes. Discussing such companies and the specifics about them is to help educate me and educate you about certain special situations. It is not a solicitation to purchase them. I recommend that you conduct your own research and identify why you might want to own the company yourself prior to your committing of any funds. I also recommend that you seek the services of a financial advisor that has considered your personal situation as your fiduciary. And then finally, may your education here grow your knowledge, improve your personal investing performance, and give you the confidence to take control of your future. Thanks a bunch for watching. Now on to the video. Muted investors, this week I'm talking a little bit about the Cerner Corporation merger that's going on with Oracle at this time. And in full disclosure, I've participated in this tender offer. I've got some money and some shares on this. Not a big percentage of my portfolio, but enough to at least pay attention to it. And I've just been watching it from time to time, and it's caused me to just reflect a little bit. But before I get into that, let me just give you some updates on what's going on. The tender offer has been extended for another month, and part of this is in order to get more people to tender their shares. The second reason is it looks like they still have some regulatory issues that they need to take care of. In their most recent filing, they updated some of the forms that are associated with tender offers, and in this case, they submitted regulatory approvals for countries including Australia, Austria, France, Germany, Romania, and Spain. So I just think they're going through the process, probably several months out still, or maybe just a couple of months. But you know, the tender offer continues to be something that I think will finalize later this year, and it should be a good place to have my money compared to what I've observed in other positions throughout the year over the Ukraine crisis and all the issues with increasing inflation and things like that. So it's just something to pay attention to, and I continue to watch that one and find that it's very interesting. Of note, the shares that have been tendered so far just exceeded 10% in this last filing that they put out there, and that's a rise of almost 6% of the total outstanding shares, because it was 3.8 back in February. If you're interested in participating, remember that the board fully supports this. They unanimously approved of it when they filed their schedules that talk about their recommendation on this. And it looks like they're starting to prep themselves to submit their shares for tender as well. Cerner does pay a dividend, and it does have a dividend. For those of you that are interested in wanting to buy the shares, but you want to have another reason to hold on to it for a little bit before you tender them, Cerner does pay a dividend, and they have their ex-dividend date coming up later this week. This next week, it's on the 25th, and if you have that, then you could potentially tender your shares afterwards, and I could see somebody doing that as well in order to make sure that they get the dividend as part of their tender offer activities. Overall, I found that this was interesting, but I also found it interesting because as I was doing my research, I recognized that there's a lot of automated websites that are paying attention to Cerner, and I think it's interesting to point out that, like MarketWatch, for example, they do automated investment reporting, and through last week they identified that Cerner outperformed the market or underperformed the market, and it was really quite fascinating to me how useless the data is. Now, this isn't anything against MarketWatch or anything like that. It's against the fact that we're using algorithms to create content. And like MarketWatch, Benzinga, those websites, they seem to do that all the time. And for those of you that are newer to the investing world, just pay attention to what you're reading. Sometimes an automated or algorithm-based investment platform does not always give you the clearer picture of what you need to do, and you have to spend your time doing your own research. I know a lot of people say that, but if you're not doing it, you're probably going to make mistakes. And frankly, you're going to make mistakes either way. I make mistakes all the time, but the mistakes will be minimized if you don't pay attention to the noise that comes out from websites like that. Finally, as my heart goes out to those that live in Ukraine right now and they're dealing with the Russian invasion, I think that it's interesting to consider investing the same way that warfare is sometimes considered. And I came across this quote as I was reading the story about Baba Black Sheep when I was in high school. But the generalized quote is that warfare is months of sheer boredom punctuated by sheer terror. And I find that it's very fascinating that if you're doing investing right, I really think that it will be months of boredom punctuated by excitement or terror. So anyway, thanks a bunch for watching. If you like this video, please hit the like button. And if you have not yet subscribed and you don't want to miss the next video, go ahead and subscribe. And if you have any comments or thoughts about Cerner or anything else that you want to discuss with me, go ahead and leave it in the comment section below. And I look forward to hearing from you. Thanks a bunch.